Last time on Long Distance Dungeons and Dragons Dinner Theater. Bahamut visited the criminal underground in the darling metropolis to find some stolen goods, before dancing to exhaustion at the Maelstrom Club, and barely made it to the inn to rest, where it plotted its next excursion to Jim Darling's mansion. But after its stolen ID was confiscated in the local tavern, Bahamut waited in the alley behind the bar to confront the bartender and get it back. Roderick, Juan, Kid, and Viva bet on the horse races in Barksdale and visited the stables before directing their walking hut south to Verboten, where they visited a very dark indoor arena, and tried to convince Cersei to return with them that night for an evening street party. RK and his allies got work guarding a desert caravan, with hopes of running into wanted criminals the Fat Boys, which they did, and beat them unconscious. Bahamut decided to lie to the bartender and managed to get the monk's stolen ID back, and worked on his disguise and rested for several days while waiting on the Jim Darling concert before heading to the mansion. And after walking right up to the front door disguised as a monk, got tossed backwards down the front steps after trying to open the front door, before realizing it would open for a song. Listened to the 3 doors for clues to what may lie behind them, before deciding to head upstairs, and drew the attention of one of Darling's monk's servants who invited him to share a bath, but Bahamut declined. And now, Long Distance Dungeons and Dragons Dinner Theater continues. There's one long hallway, and you just came up the stairs towards which led you into a small room with a large carpet with an eyeball motif, and a small desk with some papers and some small trinkets on it. And then out in the hallway, there's a window, and a long hallway with another window at the other end, and then lots of rooms on either side of the hallway.
Well, you know which one's the bath, so don't go in that one.
Yeah, you just saw him walk in the bath, which was the second door on the left. Second door on the left is the bath.
Is there any way I can, contact Ben or Narasamenek and see if I can get, at least some kind of general warmer, hotter... There are a lot of rooms.
Yeah, there are a lot of rooms. I mean, Finn doesn't know. Finn never saw inside. He just knows there's something in here worth stealing. Yeah, you were drawn to this place, and your god wants you to come here as well, for a reason. As far as directing you to the exact room, I don't think that's something he would do. Or hot or cold. He might tell you a direction, but it may or may not be right. I mean, I don't know.
I would spend, hours...
looking through rooms. But you wouldn't really know where it would be in this house, so I can't just give it to you either. I would say, I could roll something for your god, but once again, I'd be rolling something random, so I can't promise it'd be good advice.
How about, is there any way to, sense a magical device? Or is that a skill?
Detect magic.
Detect magic is a spell. Your god would tell you to go back the way you came. You're on the second floor, you went upstairs.
Okay, back down then.
Alright, you go back down the stairs, away from the guy in the bath.
Can I do another listen?
Yeah.
I can hear where the snake...
Yeah.
22?
You see another snake in this room as well as you come down the stairs. You see another snake curled around one of the lamps. Probably a snake in every room. Probably lots of snakes in some rooms. But at least one in every room, you would assume, as so far every room you've been in has had at least one snake.
No, you said there was are you saying the accumulative amount of hissing was a great hissing? I thought you meant there were a lot of snakes in one room.
Both. In some rooms, there's at least one snake in every room, but you would think from the amount of hissing you're hearing that there's at least one room with a lot of snakes.
Yeah, that's what I was listening for.
Yes. Straight ahead for you, which when you first came in would have been the room to the left past where you heard the music coming from.
Let's walk just in front of the door.
Alright, so you walk back in the vestibule area, and then you peek into the instrument room.
Yeah, because I don't want to get stunned again. I have no hit point.
Yeah, well this door doesn't say away on it, so you think you're probably okay.
So another perception check.
Nat 20.
So yeah, you peer in, you see someone playing the piano very well actually. Obviously a classically trained bard. Just rocking out on the piano while Jim Darling's away, obviously taking advantage of the time when no one else is here to practice alone. It seems very focused on whatever music he's playing, is alone in this instrument room, just banging away very heavily on these keys. Very beautiful music. Roll me a will save.
No.
13.
You're sort of fascinated by this music. You can either do a move or a standard right now, but not both, while you're distracted by the music. You basically can't take a full round action right now, while you're in this room at least.
Was I able to look around?
Yeah, you see a very large piano, you see this guy playing it, you see several other instruments of various types hanging up around the room, lutes, flutes, drums. It seems to be some sort of instrument room, so it seems to be all kinds of instruments on the walls, instruments in piles on the floor, xylophones, tubophones, everything. Almost any kind of instrument Jim Darling would want to toy around with, you could find in this room.
Can I back out? I have the door propped opposite and just go to the straightaway door?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look in there.
Alright, you go straight over with perception check?
18.
Alright, so you look in this door. In this, you see what looks like a very large arena with a very large crystal eyeball in the floor. And its pupil, on top of it is a disc, and on top of that disc is a large, jagged crystal about the size of a man's head.
Oh,
Can I do knowledge engineering or something to get a little more information about it?
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, this seems to be some sort of summoning arena. You have not detected any traps in here. It seems like, other than the eyeball in the center of the floor, which seems somewhat strange and something weird about it for sure. Other than that, you don't detect any traps. So other than the eyeball in the middle of the floor is definitely strange. But you do think this is what you're after?
Like bad strange?
Yeah, like
Or,
dangerous strange.
Like, oh, that's a weird.
Yeah, because it's not,
This hurt me strange.
it's definitely not like something that would be necessary for the floor. It like even juts out of the floor a bit, like an oval out of the floor, like it actually is three-dimensional. It
Is
doesn't,
there any away
it doesn't,
signs?
it doesn't necessarily appear to be crystal as much as it seems to be like glassy. You don't see any away signs, no.
I said I would think of my life. I think I might have to. Can I try to roll a stealth check? Sneak up to it? Alright, I rolled a 16 stealth. Is that good enough to get me up to it?
Yeah, you sneak up to it.
Is the eye doing anything?
No, that's not doing anything currently.
Okay. Am I on the stage? Or am I on
Yeah, you're on the stage now. You're now standing on the eye. You can touch the crystal if you want to.
I don't want it to hurt me. I don't want to die.
dude.
Should I do a perception check to make sure there's no like magical guard around? I rolled a 21.
You touch the crystal though, because unless you touch crystal, nothing's gonna happen. So you don't see anything.
Okay, touch it.
All right, you touch it.
Hair stands on it.
Yeah, your hair stands on end. You feel the magic flowing through your veins. Power like you haven't felt since you left the maelstrom. You feel that power here on the material plane again now. The ability to just shift the world to your will, to change things around you, to even control the ability to shift yourself. While holding this crystal in this particular place, you feel very powerful, but as you grab the crystal, a serpentine creature with the lower body of a snake and a humanoid torso appears, but it has a bird-like head and claws. It's a creature you will recognize from your home. It's the Imintesh, a large, chaotic outsider, paying you a visit.
Dead.
Well, it doesn't seem to be attacking you. It just is standing in front of you, and now that you touch the crystal, it's staring at you. Seems like it's waiting for you to speak.
Oh. I'm sorry. My younger brother, what do you do?
It says, nothing. Roll me a fortitude save.
Hi, Brian. 9.
Touching a crystal.
Alright, you are confused for 4 rounds. So like 16 seconds you're confused, and when you come out of your confusion, Imintesh is gone and you're still holding this crystal. Yeah, and while you're holding it, in this spot at least, you feel a great power. Like I said, the power to do many things. You don't know unless you ask type of power. You are not mythic, but you do have a certain amount of magical power while you're holding this crystal.
While I'm holding the crystal?
Yep, and especially in this spot. It gets weaker, you don't know this, but I know this. But right now, where you are, it is magical and has a lot of power.
But if I moved it anywhere else, it has something to do with the eye?
Possibly. You don't know that yet, so I can't answer that question. But
Okay,
right now, you are very powerful. Currently, you feel very powerful. You can take it and leave, and then later on, you'll feel less powerful and put the pieces together. But
Can I
currently,
heal myself while I'm doing
yeah, is that what you would like to do while you're holding this crystal? It's not the only thing you can do, but if that's what you'd like to do right now, would you like to heal?
Yes.
You're healed. You have full health points right now.
Power of the crystal.
Okay.
You're maybe now realizing this is a part of something, and if you had the whole thing, you bet you could get your old self back.
Right, dear God, yo, you're touching a crystal. That's the best thing.
Alright, let's talk to Narasemenek or one of the other 2 Protean lords. But mostly Narasemenek.
Narasemenek will say every crown needs its first gemstone. The greater the gemstone, the greater the crown.
So do I have the option to take it? Is that what he means that I should take it?
I mean, he did put you in a thief's body and placed you outside of a mansion wall where this object was kept.
How heavy is it?
About as heavy as a man's head. So you could definitely carry it, yeah.
Is this like Indiana Jones where like pop out if I don't put the same...
No, you don't seem to think so. You don't detect, I mean, your fin side of yourself does not detect any traps here. It seems almost too easy, but at the same time, Jim Darling probably never expected someone to sneak into his house and just walk in and take something when he's not there.
I can shapeshift while I'm touching this, right?
Yeah. What would you like to shapeshift into? Give me a wish and I'll let you know if it can be fulfilled.
Shapeshift into my true form and fly out of there.
Oh, you can't do your true form yet. We already talked about that. You gotta have a much more powerful
God in
crystal
the
for that.
back. Wait a God.
You can do lots of other things besides totally finish your storyline. That's your friend. I know we're having fun and all, but we're not there yet. You got a little bit farther to go to become your true self and escape this plane.
I
And
know. I want to try to leave. I don't even want to take a step. But there's no traps, right?
you do not detect any traps in this room or the room you came in from.
No magical ones? I guess I can't detect.
Yeah, I mean this is a summoning room, so if Jim Darling was here and had the power of the crystal, then obviously you could defend it. But him not being here, you sneaking in is obviously defeat. He had no defenses set up for this. He had nothing. He has a lot of his other items protected. He did not have this one protected very well, apparently.
Is there any way to, like, put it in my bag, then?
Yeah, it would fit in your bag.
Alright, then let's go.
Alright, you put it in your bag. You sneak back out the front door.
I just feel like something really bad is waiting for me.
Oh, Brian's kind of a sociopathic.
Yeah, let's go. And I have to walk past the gargoyles again.
Change your shape.
Yeah, but what about my backpack and all my stuff? How am I going to carry that if I can... Can I just change my shape into that monk exactly?
Yeah.
Okay,
You are now a human monk.
let's go then.
You leave in a perfect disguise of the human monk. You walk back down the road, you walk to the front gate, wave goodbye to all the teeny boppers. I mean, I'm gonna roll, but I don't think anything's gonna happen to you. Using the power of the crystal, one of the kids at the gate does try to stop and talk to you. You know, ask when they're gonna get to meet Jim Darling. You keep promising.
I mean, like, if you were at the concert tonight, kid, it probably would have happened. Bye.
Oh, alright. You crush that kid's dreams and leave. Where do you head from here?
Is there a way to not go back into town?
Yeah, I mean, this is a big island, so you can pretty much go anywhere that's not back into town.
I just want to get far away from here, 1, and 2, the sky. I have no idea what to do, except not go back to that town.
Yeah, avoid the Darling Metropolis. I mean, you
Yeah.
know that they're on that's on the western coast of this island, so your only other choice is to probably either go north or east at this point, because his house is at the south of where you were, so which way do you flee?
Could I do a knowledge planes work?
No, that'd be geography. Planes would be for other planes of existence. But this would be geography or
Okay.
local for very local stuff. Knowledge local will give you it'll give you different information than knowledge geography, but tell you what you heard about the surrounding area from the locals. All right, so you're before your 5 days in your hotel room changing shape, you probably did talk to some people about the surrounding area. And you being a halfling, a lot of people asked if you were from the Folk. You kept hearing the Folk. Are you from the Folk? Apparently, there's a village called the Folk nearby that is full of halflings to the north.
Okay. Can I turn into a dragon with all my stuff and just fly there?
You can turn into a medium-sized, humanoid-sized dragon. It will tear your clothes some, damage them.
Oh, can I get naked and then do it?
Yeah, of course. You strip naked, put your clothes in your bag, wear your bag, and turn into a dragon. Fly towards the Folk. The closer and closer you get to the Folk, the harder it is to maintain your dragon form. Roll me a reflex save to land before you change into a human in midair and fall.
Okay, hold on. Remember, I also have the billow cape.
That will help. Falling.
Alright, so I've got a 27 that says on the billow cape, when falling, a creature wearing a billow cape is treated as if he had deliberately jumped from the height.
You're falling safely to the ground, just outside the Folk. You still feel the power of the crystal, but it's definitely weaker. Even sort of like half dragon, like you're trying to be a dragon. You're like, oh, parts of me are dragon, but not all of me. So the power of the crystal is growing weaker, farther away from the source, where you stole it from.
Will it not regain its power until it meets their half then?
Possible it needs the other half. It needs the other half. It needs to be in its proper place. There are lots of conditions for making the crystal work properly.
So I'm probably going back to Jim Darling's house, and that's going to be my house now.
If you want to continue to use this crystal to its full potential, yeah.
Okay, Jim Darling, I'll be seeing you.
Steal your entire house. Yep.
Coming at you. Bahamut.
Yeah. Start your own singing
You
career.
can love yourself.
Don't love somebody.
Amen.
That we already proved you have a perform skill, so.
Alright, so I fall softly to the ground.
Yeah, you land just outside of this very tall wall around a very small city. Almost looks like a tower.
Okay, let's get quickly dressed into...
Alright, you pull out your backpack and you are a naked man on the road, putting on your pantaloons hurriedly. No one sees you getting dressed in the edge of the woods here, but you're on the edge of the woods, kind of near the road. You can see the entrance to the city from here. Like I said, it's got a very tall wall, almost looks like a tower. It's a very small door with two very small slats, one high and one low.
Can I do a perception to check if this door is magically guarded before I knock on it?
Yeah, I mean, you have to do detect magic to know that for sure, but you can look for any signs of that, of the perception.
She's just really wary of doors now.
Yeah, it's like, I guess Kekatar's been on the earth for Bahamut's been here a very short period of time, and apparently doors are sometimes bad, so it's like a Pavlovian thing. So you're outside of this city. You say you knock on the door? Yeah, how do you look? You're back to your normal Finn self, right?
Yeah, except I have a little bit shorter hair.
Finn with short hair.
I'm speaking halfling.
You say that, the bottom slat will open. You'll see a pair of halfling eyes, obviously staring back out.
Sanctuary?
Alright, the door will open. You're welcomed into the Folk. Yeah, you're a halfling. You're in a halfling town, so all the buildings are short, but that's fine for you. You fit in them just fine. Normal-sized buildings for you. We've got a hunter's guild, a fisherman's guild, a small dock, lots of other little buildings and stuff. It's a very quaint little town. But yeah. It seems like a very halfling-centric city, very insular. Had you not been a halfling, you doubt you would have gotten treated so kindly on your way in. A couple of rat-folk traders here in town, but for the most part, halflings you see walking around. They've got a stable, small barracks, a very small military academy, a brewery, a small courthouse, a little fireworks shop,
Oh, you listen to
small
that?
farms, a granary, a graveyard. Fisherman's Guild Hall, a herbalist, a town doctor, inns, houses, a jail, a Gozer temple, a mill, all good shop, small weaponsmithy, a tavern, a town hall, a wharf, chicken coop, Hunter's Guild, a tannery, and a butcher, and a small arena.
Say that in the Hunter's Guild, if you leave your weapon,
If you join the Hunter's Guild, they will upgrade it for you. But you have to join the guild to do that.
what's the price for joining the guild?
It's 50 gold, and you have to you have to go on a hunt with one of the hunters and prove you can hunt. You have to come back with a trophy, basically. You do hear a lot of ruckus at the tavern, but it's like every tavern in every town. That's where all the noise is coming from in town right now.
Last time I went to a tavern, I got fucked over, so Bahamut's a little wary of
Taverns,
mortal.
smart guy.
So I'll be avoiding that.
Even though it's a
So I don't
halfling
wanna get
tavern.
Wrapped up in any dances. What time of day are we at right now?
Let's find out. Early afternoon, second lunch, in halfling
the
speak.
tavern.
Yeah, in halfling speak, second lunch.
Is the tavern the best place to get knowledge about stuff?
As a rogue, probably. Just in general, usually.
Oh right, and nobody will think.
Yeah, you're halfling, and they're in a halfling village. You're gonna be normal size. All the bar stools will fit you.
Oh man.
No one will even card you here.
Oh, you got carded?
It was a big deal.
So do you want to go to the halfling bar?
Participate in the halfling bar, but I do want
At least
to
spectate.
The best way to get people to talk is to buy them drinks.
Yeah, get chatting. At the bar, there is a lot of guys having a good time. A lot of hunters and fishermen arguing about, telling fisher tales or hunter tales. Like, I caught one this big, or the time I hunted this animal. There is a grease pig contest going on in the tavern. They've got a little pin area with a pig all greased up, and they're all tackling the pig and betting money on it if they can hold onto a greased pig. They're having a good old time. There are also some guys playing 6-card draw. A lot of gambling, a lot of tavern antics.
I feel like so. Do you like weird things done recently?
Knowledge local, and you'll get that information. What diplomacy.
So that's 22.
Alright, he'll regard you as friendly and want to give you that information. The biggest news in town recently has been the recent trophy hunts brought on by the Hunters Guild, most of which have been okay, but there was one a few weeks back, 3 or 4 weeks back, where these two guys caught this really, really huge owlbear, and even brought back 2 of its young, which the bartender bought one. He's got it over in a crate over there on the other side of the bar, training it to be his bouncer for the bar, basically. That's probably the biggest news in town right now. Aristophocles is one of the great hunters who grew up here, was part of our military, returned to the Hunters Guild, and actually bagged this thing with another kitsune. So an outside race. They're not usually big on letting outside races into town. Very pro-halfling, but these two guys one was a local boy and the other one was his friend, so and they are good hunters. That's probably the biggest news in town as of late.
They still here?
No, they left maybe about a month or so ago, went out into the woods, never came back, Headed south, I think. The young one kept talking about trying to find his aunt or something, I don't know, looking for his family.
Family?
Yeah, like his home, like back where he came from, like...
It's a whole.
You ever, had a home and then been far away? It was kind of like that. I think he was trying to get back where he came from. I'm pretty sure he was a boy. I don't know, but...
I'm also looking boy have knowledge of where things from.
Well, I guess he knows where he's from. I don't know if he'll know where you're from or not. I guess that's possible. In this fantasy world, anything could be possible. Maybe he knows you and can give you information about where you're from.
All things are possible in the mail.
You mean that club down there in the Darling Metropolis? I hear that place is crazy. I ain't ever going to a place called the Maelstrom. I get different strokes for different folks, I guess.
Practice for me. Buy you a drink.
Well, I don't mind if I do. Pay drinks to drink.
So supposedly there's a prophetic child walking around and knows where people are from.
You will have got that much. Someone named Kit.
Not really much of a child. I'm 18 now, so.
Who is both man and woman, which you respect. If you're from the Maelstrom, you're like, gender fluidity is something I totally understand. All these men and women walking around is very confusing. But yeah.
Oh, well, Bahamut doesn't.
Yeah, sometimes he pees, that's it. Yeah. He hasn't even sucked any
alone.
dicks or doorknobs yet.
Okay, so
Or doorknob.
prophetic child to the south. Can you get on a ship? South sounds okay. Or I could be a real high answer. Or I could volunteer. Why don't I just see if I can join the Hunters Guild?
For 50 gold, another hunter will join you on a hunt, and if you are able to hunt something with him watching, he will confirm you as a hunter, and you'll be a full-fledged member of the guild, and then at that point they'll upgrade your weapon.
150?
That's your entry fee, and then you get to go on one test hunt with a real hunter. He's going to watch you hunt, and if you're able to hunt something and bring it back, then he'll confirm you, and then you'll be a hunter, and they'll upgrade your weapon.
Okay. If it's only 50, then that's fine.
Yeah, that's all it is. 50 gold, you paid your entry fee. A hunter has agreed to come out hunting with you. Let's see what you're going to be hunting on your first hunt. Looks like you're hunting Bloodhawk.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
You can roll a knowledge nature to see if maybe Finn remembers if that's good or bad. Access Finn's memory banks.
I guess halflings wouldn't hunt it if they weren't
Yeah,
right?
true.
Okay, so we're looking for a bloodhawk.
Yeah. Did you roll knowledge nature to see what Finn knows about Bloodhawks?
It's a natural one.
Bloodhawk, you don't know. A hawk made of blood. You know that for you as a character, it's like that's like the first thing that comes to mind. You're like Bloodhawk, okay? You imagine because in the Maelstrom, that's exactly what it would be. It'd be a hawk made out of actual blood. So in your mind, you think that's what you're about to go hunt.
Can I ask the hunter about that?
Yeah, roll me a diplomacy check to ask the hunter about the Bloodhawk. He's like, you know, Bloodhawks. He points up at the sky.
Just go kill it.
Alright, so you guys leave the city. Your chaperone says, "Lead the way."
Start walking.
Which direction do you
Can
walk?
I do a perception check to check the sky?
Yeah.
It's the next day yet.
I don't remember you resting, but it probably is the next day. But I don't think you rested. If you want to say that you rested last night in the Folk, people there are pretty nice. Someone probably would have put you up in their barn or something if you really needed a place to stay. So we can say, yes, you slept there last night, and the hunt is the next day if you want. Is that what you'd like to say?
Yeah.
Okay, so last night you rested in someone's barn with their permission, and today you're going hunting with the chaperone. You're looking for birds.
We rolled a natural 20. Perception check for Bloodhawk.
Yeah, you found them.
Okay.
Natural 20. You found Bloodhawks.
Noisy.
You looked up at the sky. You look up at the sky. You saw 9 Bloodhawks. And you're like, oh, those must be Bloodhawks.
Fuck.
They almost look just like normal hawks, except they're red and they seem pretty aggressive. They're flying right towards you. No wonder you saw them. They're flying your direction. At about 80 foot around. I rolled a 5 for initiative though with these guys, and you have a hunter with you, so he'll help you if if it comes down to it. I rolled a 5 for a group initiative for them. So if you beat 5, you get to go before all 9 hawks.
20.
Yeah, you get to go first. Prove you can hunt.
Crystal power them.
All right, do you pull the crystal
So,
out of your backpack?
Natural looking crystal power them.
I don't know how natural it's going to look for you. Like, yeah, I'm going to take you hunting, and then birds just fall to the sky in front of you.
This guy.
Like, this guy's so good at hunting that birds just fall to the sky when he's around. Like I said, if you're going to use the crystal, you got to pull it out of your bag. You might want to try one of the daggers first. See how well you do.
Right. I just don't want to fight 9.
So here's what we can do. If you're willing to take the crystal out of your bag and wish that some of them would go away, 9 of them will fly away. So you only have, there were none left. They all fly away. You gotta find the birds again.
So let's try to kill one of them.
While they're flying away, you're gonna try and get one?
Yes.
Yes. 15 then?
That's a hit. Roll the damage.
It's 4.
Alright, that's pretty good. So you injure it pretty badly. It's not dead, but it is injured, and it's like...
It's on the ground then?
It's not on the ground, but it's like falling, and it's separating from the rest of the ones that are flying away. So if you ran to the woods, you could probably catch up with it.
Alright, then let's
And
do
kill it.
that.
Alright, so you run into the woods after it. The rest are still flying away. Let's see if you're able to find it. You're having a hard time finding it. You think you're in the area where the woods where it fell, but you don't see it. Roll me a perception check to try and find it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't find it. The guy that's following you says, close one, man, close one. I think we spooked him, though. Maybe try to be a little more stealthy next time. Yeah, he'll help you look for it.
And I can kill it, and I can
Yeah, I guess so. He thinks it's, he says, maybe over this way. He kind of points at him. Roll another perception check as he kind of leads the way to another area of the woods.
10.
Yeah. You guys together, we both got 10, so you guys can't seem to find it. Hiding somewhere. Damn it, you're so close. Yeah, you're probably not going to be able to find it then, even if you take 10. If you take a 20, you might, but that would be like spending 8 hours looking for one bird and hoping it doesn't get away. While it is down to 2 hit points and hiding somewhere.
Just roll a survival, see what happens.
It's 2.
No, you can't find the thing.
Okay, let's roll perception again. See if we can find the others. There's 15.
No, now you're deep in the woods and you can't see past the trees. You sort of hear them squawking with your excellent halfling hearing, but you can't pinpoint where they are. They're up in the trees somewhere. I mean, you can definitely hear them squawking. They seem to be all around you. So almost in all the trees are these bloodhawks. So they seem to have a lot of them.
I wonder why they call them bloodhawks.
They
Because
eat blood.
they're
Good
ready.
humans.
Could I maybe get up into the trees then?
You want to climb up into a tree? Then roll me a climb check. Do you not climb a tree?
Oh, no, I don't. It's a natural 1, so no.
Alright, so not only do you not climb a tree, you're going to be set upon by all the hawks in that tree. Let's see how many hawks were in that tree.
Great.
Only 2.
Be okay.
So roll for initiative versus the 2 hawks that you just scared out of this tree. I got 19.
That's not what I got.
Lower.
Alright, so they're going to get the jump on you. It's a natural 1 though, so you're going to attack of opportunity on that one. And then my next one was a 10.
10.
10 is a miss.
20. A natural.
Alright, so that's a hit. So you miss him the first time when he swoops down at you, but he misses you, so you get a hit the second time. How much damage do you do?
2.
Alright, Alright, now they're gonna try and attack you again. I got a 2 plus 4, so 6 is not high enough. And then I got a 4. Oh, I got 16. Yeah, you're a halfling. Halflings are usually pretty hard to hit.
18 actually. 9? Oh no, I get 0, it's still 9.
Alright, so that's a miss. And they attack you. That's going to be a 15 versus your AC, and then another 15 versus your AC, which I think are both misses.
Yeah.
So these 2 hawks are trying to bite you. She's tiny and a rogue. 14, I got a reflex save.
Yeah. It goes up as, yeah.
Oh, this time I got a 19, so that is going to be a hit. So it's going to be 3 damage.
Why is this not working? 7.
Dice. Yeah, 7's a miss. Alright, that's going to be a 14 versus you, which is a miss, and then a 7 versus you, which is a miss.
Yeah, I haven't asked you to roll yet.
Oh.
I mean, that was your turn, so you can roll it again if you want, I understand.
17.
Oh, that one's a hit. I'm glad I let you roll it again.
Or otherwise this would have taken forever.
Yeah.
4.
Alright, so you've knocked one bird unconscious, but the other one's still attacking you. It's going to be a 16 versus your AC, which is a miss.
A natural 20.
Unnatural or natural?
Unnatural.
Alright, still a hit.
2.
2 damage. You hurt that one. I'm trying to attack you again. That's a miss. I got a 6. Miss. 14 to miss.
I missed.
Is that a natural one? It was a miss.
It's a
Okay.
miss.
Alright, I got a 20. Not natural. That does 4 damage. It bites you.
22.
Hit.
Hit. 4.
Alright, you've knocked 2 of these birds unconscious. You still hear a bunch squawking in the trees above. You've got 2. You think it's probably smart to grab these 2 and get out of here before the rest decide to attack.
XP her.
Yeah, you get 1,200 experience.
Damn. And grab your daggers.
Yeah, get your
Oh, yeah.
daggers so you don't leave
Retrieve
those behind.
everything.
Alright, I'll let you do that really quick. And the guy that chaperones you will get you back into town and approve you as a member of the Hunters Guild, having hunted 2 Bloodhawks.
Totally worth it.
You'll have to turn over your Bloodhawks to the guild, of course. They're now guild property, which will probably serve at a guild meal upcoming. Probably tonight they'll do Bloodhawk wings or
As long as I
something.
get to eat.
Yeah, you can do any of the guild. They have a guild meal every night, and as long as you're part of the guild, you're welcome to come to it. If you're part of the Hunters Guild, you get to share in whatever everybody caught, or everybody hunted, and if you're part of the Fishers Guild, you get to share what everybody caught. So tonight you can attend that party and get food and probably drink too. They usually are pretty. Just like they let you sleep on in their barn or their floor, they'll probably also share their ale with you. Halflings are usually pretty friendly and neighborly.
Oh, and can I just be like, so barn? I don't know, like, I want to make sure it's pretty secure. Like, is there a lot of crime in this city?
Jenny, you're good.
Lots of halflings are known to have slippery fingers, so to speak, but we usually tend to look out for our own.
That's awesome. You know,
Yeah.
I've never been in a city like this before.
What do you mean? Finn,
Feels good to-
you've lived in my barn for years.
What?
Come on, Finn. You messing around?
I'm messing around.
Yeah, you know. I got you, didn't I?
Oh,
How'd you
you
know it?
classic prankster, Finn. Look, man, anytime you need to sleep in the bar, you're fine. I know you only come through town every now and then, but you're always welcome here.
You know I've got my back.
Asking about the underbelly, you're so Phil. Everyone knows you're the thief. I just got lucky enough to steal your girl, and that's why we settled. That's why we settled down here in town, and you're still some wild adventurer or whatever.
Tell me how monogamy's working out for you.
I have 6 wives. They all live in town. Halflings are polygamous. I have 6 wives and 4 husbands.
I have the whole world.
See, there you go. I know. I guess it's not a competition, Finn. It's not a competition. Okay, we're both very lucky, obviously.
Sounds like competition.
Yeah, you're lucky you got.
Well, I mean, you're sleeping in the barn, so
Yeah.
you got that going for you.
Put me in my place.
I guess our high school yearbook was wrong about you.
You.
Alright, so you can leave 1 weapon behind to become a huntsman weapon, usually a ranged weapon. You can buy a weapon here and have them huntsman it too. Halfling short bow, yeah. It's gonna cost you 30 gold here in town. And then if you leave it overnight here, they'll make it huntsman for you.
Yep. I'm gonna go sleep in that barn. Still feel slighted somehow.
We'll do
Can
something
I set
about
this
it.
barn on fire?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my
It's
god,
D&D.
you're a woman after my own heart.
Wait, let me sleep first.
You do turn into something. You turn into a drum.
Fantastic.
You're a drum now.
Empty as... Yep, I'm gonna do a will save. Get
Okay.
out of that. 21.
Yeah, you're fine. You're not a drum anymore.
It's daylight, right?
Yeah, it's morning time.
I really want to burn it down. Can I go pick up my bow and arrow before I burn this barn down? Okay.
You go back to the
Pick it
Hunter's
up.
Guild, get your bow and arrow, then walk back to the barn.
Well, I just want to like make sure I'm not seen doing it, because then I want to
Well,
say
then you need to
bye
stealth.
to that guy. while his barn is
It's on fire. Alright, roll a stealth to sneak up to the barn.
I'm gonna use my thing and reroll.
Okay.
I really want to burn this barn down. 17.
That's decent, but I rolled a 30, so at least one of the neighbors is up working on their garden and waves at you as you're sneaking up to the barn.
Fucking count as
How'd
halfling.
you roll?
I rolled a 17, and some of these halflings have really high perception.
Alright, well I guess I'm not burning this
Yeah,
down.
you are not coming back to this town.
Ugh, that guy though.
But I mean,
that thing about Finn is
I mean,
driving me nuts.
I mean, it's true. It's playing your character true, so
Why would you
I'm
mention
giving
that?
it to you.
Because it's an asshole. Why is that guy like that?
Does he have like a favorite cow or something? I could just like.
He's a favorite child, but it's probably this, for his Akegatar, it's probably the same thing to you, right?
No.
You probably don't even understand the difference.
Oh my god, no!
You have to go peek in his window to find out.
Like a little perception check?
Yeah, if you want to peek in the window and find out what the kid's doing.
I'm very good at the killing.
Alright, well it's not very good, so everybody can calm down. But I'm just gonna go in and say goodbye.
Alright, you go in the front door, you just open the door, you just turn the knob and open it.
Well, not if there's a magical spell on it.
Well, how do you know? It could be. You don't know.
Right? The sadist.
Oh.
The Bahamut would knock,
Yeah.
probably. Or just punch through the door.
Use the window.
Can I tap on the window and be like, hi?
Yeah, they'll wave at you through the window.
Does his favorite kid wave at me through the window?
I'll roll a percentage chance to find out. Yeah, he does. The little kid also waves
You're
by.
horrible.
I don't have poisons on
What
me.
kind of rogue are you?
He probably has
Is
low
that one of the things that I do? Nothing to kill this child with.
Your bow and arrow. You do have that. You
Yeah.
can just put like one right.
Yeah, well, everybody's looking at me.
Through a
And
window?
you've already burned down a barn and
I
they noticed.
didn't.
Yeah, Jen did not burn down the barn. Mama did not burn down the barn.
Okay, never mind.
You get creeped out by the nosy neighbor.
I did. There's a difference between, like, righting a wrong and not doing it.
That's chaotic. That's a really
Yeah.
chaotic.
Nailed
Applaud
it.
for playing character
Bahamut
through.
still has to
I
live.
made my
Hold
god
on,
to the
I
ground.
just want to make a note of this child real quick.
The Bahamut's already starting a shit list of all, like, things he's gonna do to right
I almost started
all the wrongs
to
that happened to
but
Finn.
then I was like, nah.
No, this is... Oh, wait, I also want to put Jim Darling on there. Shall I go look for the prophetic child? What else to do besides that? Except pray to Narasimhan
I'll probably
again.
ask for direction.
Yes, about the prophetic child, like, is he my way home?
The child is well connected.
So, south it is. Yeah.
There's a small dock at the Folk for mostly for fishing vessels, and there's a large dock at the Darling Metropolis.
I'm not going back there.
The only other dock on this island would be on the other side of the island. You may or may not remember that. I assume Finn has a knowledge of this area, so you may be able to access it with a higher knowledge history roll, but...
So, I have to go back to Darling Metropolis to get on a boat to go anywhere. Can I not just take a halfling boat to the dock at Darling Metropolis and then
You do that
take
as
a
well.
boat? It would be
Wow.
kinda like
I mean, you probably have to, like, diplomacy check to get someone to take you that way. They don't usually fish in that direction. It's a very treacherous trip around the edge of the island. It's a very long journey because you have to go around the jungle to get to the Darling Metropolis. There's a very large jungle north of the metropolis. It's kind of west of the Folk.
Are there not any other adventurers here that are like, yeah, I'll do it?
It seems like most people here are either hunters or fishermen.
Local.
There's a small criminal underbelly, but most of the people here are hunters or fishermen.
Basic, the underbelly is
Well,
me.
there's a couple more. If you are a small underbelly, but no, there's more than you. There's other roguish halfling types that travel through town here.
I don't want to go back to the Darling. They wouldn't recognize me though, would they? Because I was in a monk disguise.
You have to go back in the metropolis to get on a
I'm never
boat.
going to be able to eat at the Darling ever again. I'm a halfling, so I'll be overlooked.
Well, I feel like you could probably get to the docks okay. Like I said, they did it, and they were kitsune, which are like known terrorists in this region of the world. So I feel like you could probably get to a boat if you really wanted to.
Well, let's spend the time traveling, I guess.
I feel like there are no terrorists everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, y'all keep saying that, and I don't understand, so I'm not judgmental.
Oh, you
That's
have to get
fine.
as long as our characters know them.
They've just been part in different political assassinations and
Whatever.
bombing buildings and stuff. You go back down the road from the folk village and head back towards the Darling Metropolis. You reach the east gate. They confiscate your weapons but allow you to enter.
Wait,
you
so
can,
they took my crossbow?
yeah, but you can get it back whenever you get on a boat. You just can't have weapons in the city.
Alright, let's go to the docks then.
Why don't you go to the docks where you can claim your weapons once you're on a boat?
So, I can exchange services for a free ride, correct?
Depends what kind of services you have and yeah, what are you trying to offer here?
I have an entertainment robe.
So what service are you
I-
offering? Entertaining or roguing?
I haven't assigned my perform.
You should assign it something, and you can maybe get a job as a performer on the Darling cruise ship.
Be a gleeman.
The Darling cruise ship is starting its trek around the world, stopping at many destinations, several ports.
Is it like,
That could be your thing. You could tell stories.
stories have power?
I agree. That's why we play D&D. So you want to offer your skills as a storyteller on the boat, huh? So the captain's like, give me a sample. So roll me your storytelling check and then tell the captain a story. I'm gonna get a beer for this.
15.
Alright, now give me a story.
Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a lord. And his lord had one beautiful daughter with golden hair. However, one day, the wife of the lord became sick and died. And the little girl was devastated, but it enabled her to grow closer with her father until one day he decided to remarry. He married recently widowed baroness with 2 beautiful daughters, and they lived quite well for a while. And then the lord went off on one of his trading ventures and died, and so the little girl became a slave for the mother and the 2 stepsisters, who treated her horribly afterwards, until one day she happened upon a handsome man in the woods while looking for truffles because she was only fit for pig's duty. And
You just said pig's duty. I like this story already. Pig's duty.
they immediately took a liking to each other. However, she had to get back to her manor or her stepmother would beat her senseless with Twitch. And so the prince, falling madly in love with this girl, decided to send invitations across the land to every available maiden for a gigantic ball. And of course, this horrible stepmother and stepsisters told the little girl that she couldn't go and locked her away in a room. But then a magical fairy came down and released her while they were at the ball and cast spells and turned her into a gorgeous princess. And sent her on her way to the ball where the prince fell madly in love with her until the stroke of midnight and she lost her slipper, and then he set about a ton of people around to look for her. They finally came upon her house and her stepsisters tried to fit their foot in the slipper, however they didn't fit into it, so they tried cutting off her toes and that didn't work because there's blood going everywhere. And so they found the little girl and she put her feet in and it fit magically, and by that time the prince realized that this was way too much effort and dumped her anyway. The end.
You know what? You got a very chaotic storytelling style. It had all kinds of twists and turns. But I've never heard a story like that before. You know what? I'm going to give you this gig. Like I said, this is a cruise ship going around the world. We got some kids on the boat. You might have to tone down the story a little bit. Could you maybe take out some of the... Could you maybe like tone it down a little bit for the kids' audience? Make it more like kid-friendly, then maybe we could give you this job. Could you maybe do that story like a little more like kid-friendly?
I could.
Alright, if you could do that every night while we cruise around the world, you can have passage on the ship. Feel free to disembark at any port we stop at.
Awesome.
And either rejoin us to become a storyteller around the world again, or stay there if you like. Your contract goes from port to port.
I was just wondering if I could get a stipend.
For storytelling?
Yeah, man. Sure.
Look, you get to share the buffet. You get a free meal at the buffet every day. You get a room and board. You get to travel around the world. Well, define private.
Well, I mean, you can work for tips.
I just private because I have night terrors and I snore really
Oh, you need
loudly.
a special room? Look, that's going to be 100 gold if you need a personal room.
How about I do, instead of like 2 stories a night, I'll do 4.
What made diplomacy to offer 4 stories a night?
23.
Oh man, you must really want this room to tell 4 stories a night. That's a lot of annoying kids to deal with. I tell you what, if it means such a big deal to you, we'll give you the closet all your own. Because we got a downstairs closet on this cruise ship that no one ever uses for anything but mops.
Perfect.
You can have
Look
that
at
all,
me.
all to your
Do you
lonesome.
think I'll mind?
No, you look like you fit in. It looks like you fit in that. It'll be an extra room for you. You're a tiny little fella.
Yeah. I'll have room.
There's room for 3 more of you in there.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hey, enjoy your stay. Thanks for working with us. You travel for several months, telling stories, 4 stories a night, to annoying children who ask too many questions during your stories.
Alright. When they ask questions, I don't edit.
You get some complaints from parents, but they can't kick you off the boat, so. 3 months later, you arrive at Westport, where they're picking up and dropping off people. Do you choose to disembark here, or do you stay on the ship?
I just need to do a knowledge local to look for this prophetic child.
Alright, so you're just knowledge local looking for a prophetic child?
Doesn't work.
No one knows of what you speak. It seems to be a military town, very orderly. Even from the boat, you could tell it's probably not your kind of place. Everyone's wearing uniforms, everyone's dressed the same, kind of gray and bleak.
What city is it in?
Westport. It's on an island called Demon's Knot, according to the captain, who gives you details about where you guys are landing, just in case a tourist asks.
Okay, well, I'm just not gonna disembark then.
Alright, boat travels about a month and a half, 2 months south without any incident. You arrive at a port called Telorix on the island of Kelnar. Appears to be a somewhat sandy, beachy, somewhat deserty island.
Somewhat.
With some jungles you can see from where the boat is parked, but appears mostly vast and wide open.
How can I ask this in multiple ways? I'm going to ask locals if they've seen any kitsune around. I don't get it. Now I'm going to ask the locals if they've seen anything about what else the halfling said about them. Since I can't ask any questions about kitsune anymore.
I mean, you didn't seem to get very many friendly looks when you asked about Kitsune before.
Okay, how about, can I just go back to my question about the child?
Mm-hmm.
Also doesn't work.
They know nothing of this child you speak. But the good news is now you're starting rumors around the world about a prophetic child. People are going to start talking about it.
Yeah,
They're gonna be like,
that
I
is
heard
prophetic
something
child.
once.
Yeah.
Someone keeps coming around asking about prophetic children. You know anything about this?
Hey, we roll.
Well, that's true. It's been over days.
Yeah, you slept on this boat.
Finally worked. 19.
Someone will warn you not to ask around about Kitsune around here. They're not well liked. That one tried to assassinate a local judge, which was like one of their local leaders. So they invite whoever you talk to was friendly enough to say, just don't ask around about Kitsunes. It's like you're not from around here. You obviously didn't know, but I wouldn't go around asking about Kitsune if I were you.
Yeah, cut that shit out.
No prophetic child.
No prophetic child.
First time I've heard of it.
You have 6 days to kind of blow here, or just hang on the boat if you want. But if you want to wander around town or leave town, you can. You sort of already spent half of one day just kind of checking out the city and seeing what was there. It seems like a very law and order type of place. Lots of courthouses and people wearing badges. Not the kind of place you or Finn really like.
Not in the slightest.
There's all kinds of rules posted everywhere. It's a desert town, like an Old West style town. Lots of wooden buildings. There's definitely a lot of law enforcement around. Lots of signs of officials, judges. There's a courthouse. There's lots of rules posted. Taxes and fees on like everything you could do here. Yeah, a lot of rules. Something you're definitely not used to.
Yeah.
Like when you got off the boat, people were telling you which way to walk, and like everyone's dressed like everyone's in uniforms. All the officers are wearing badges. They all kind of match in some way, which is irritating
And
to
this
you.
is the Wild West place?
This is a very large city in the Wild West. It's like a big desert island that has mostly gunslingers. That's where guns originated from.
Is there like a group of tourists moving off the boat that I could kind of like...
Blend in with.
Yeah.
There's some
Just, like,
some Darling
what they're
Cruise people
doing.
that are off, like just visiting the town. Some that are staying here. Some that are just getting off and shopping here before the cruise continues.
Anybody going to like the bar or anything?
That's where most of the people that got off the boat were going, to visit the local tavern.
Can I do a knowledge local to see if they'll treat me like a child?
Yeah,
It really bothers me.
and it should. The plight of being a halfling.
22 on knowledge local.
I mean, besides the fact they have a lot of laws, they don't seem to discriminate against halflings in particular. There are lots of halflings on this cruise ship that seem to be getting along just fine. But I think for halflings, like, a lot of the rest of the world is difficult for them. The buildings are all the wrong size. You are shorter. You're going to look more like a child than most people. Like, I think it just comes with the territory of being a halfling. Although here's not one place that's necessarily particularly bad for halflings. You might still get some halfling-type treatment. It won't be extremely negative, but it may be like, oh, you're short and you're going to maybe overlooked, or you... But I mean, that's also something used to your benefit most of the time as well, so...
Yeah.
I think it's a perspective
Something
thing.
that Finn would certainly like.
Yeah, but you as a bomb,
But
maybe
there's
you're
no
not
like,
used to
height
it.
restraint bars or anything.
No, like I said, just still gonna like hop on a stool and be a shorter person. And
Alright, well let's go to a bar so I can get some info.
all right, you go to the local tavern, which is near the distillery. They sell one type of alcohol here called Scorch. It's 5 gold a shot. There is a 3-shot maximum. Then all they will serve you is water, and water is 10 gold a glass because it comes at a high premium here in the desert. You go up to the bar. Would you like to buy a shot?
For the bartender, if you want one.
The bartender will take a shot, and then he'll light a match in front of his face and blow a flame with it. And then one of the bar will clap.
Mr. Bartender, now that I've plied you with alcohol, do you mind telling me any rumors or events or things going on around here? Is that diplomacy?
That'd be a diplomacy.
15?
The yearly tax festival ended recently. That's probably the most busy part of the time of the year for them. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet here in town. A long while back, there was an assassination attempt on one of the judges, but that was a long time ago now. There was some rumors of some disturbances out in the desert, but he hasn't heard much more than that. Maybe just big sandworm attacks or something. Very little news from the cities on the eastern coast. Travel has been slowed that direction in the busy storm season. While there's not a whole lot of news from the rest of the island, but the local news isn't very busy either. Pretty quiet. We got a lot of law, here that keeps things pretty calm.
Can I get a little more detail on the assassination attempt?
Yeah, probably about a year or so ago, a kitsune by the name of Shadow Fox. He'll point to a wanted ad on a bulletin board on the other side of the bar for lots of criminals that are like most wanted, basically. There's a bunch of most wanted posters. And one of them is the Shadow Fox, which is a kitsune, much like the prophetic child, a fox person, who, according to this bartender, there are many stories of his exploits around the world, destroying government buildings, killing high officials, wreaking havoc amongst the orderly part of governments around the world, leadership around the world. His travels from place to place, caught wreaking havoc, basically.
Well, that sounds horrible.
Bluff check.
Fair.
Natural 20.
Yeah, you were able to conceal the fact that you actually mean awesome.
Which way did this terrible person go so I don't follow in that same direction? Because I wouldn't want to go there.
Yeah, it's been quiet since the assassination. They have no record of him leaving the island, and they keep pretty good, as you know, when you came in on a boat, they keep pretty good record of who comes in and out of Telorix. You were documented when you came into the city. And they have no record. They have record of him coming into the city with a large group, with several other travelers. All of them left at different times, or some left early, some left later. There's no record of him ever leaving the island, but they've been unable to find him or track him down. Why is the wanted poster is still up? There's a large reward to find him. Between 8,000 and 10,000 now, if you bring him in.
More than I could ever carry. And you said he was traveling with people?
The ship he arrived on had several people on it, and they all left separately, so it was hard to say if they were the same group or not.
So he hasn't been seen since the assassination attempt?
Not been seen since the assassination attempt. And a lot of people ask around about it. He gets asked about him like once a week. Bounty hunters looking for him because it's a bounty. It's a pretty large bounty. People are always asking for information, trying to find him. You can retire on that kind of money, or at least take the rest of the year off if you catch this one guy. It's very tempting for a lot of young marshals to go after him, but so far most of them come back empty-handed.
And he matches the description of the prophetic child, doesn't he?
Yeah, pretty closely. As far as selling Kitsune apart, you're not gonna be great at it anyway, and they are very closely related. So to you, it will sound like the same person. Yes, you will think.
I've got 5 days now.
At the end of this day, you'll have 5 days till the boat leaves.
Is there like a law enforcement place that would maybe have more information about this person?
The marshal's office might have more information, but almost everything I told you is on the flyer.
So nobody's seen him for a couple of months now.
I'd say it's been closer to almost a year since anyone's seen him. We have no record of him leaving the island, and there's no other ports on the island except Telorix. So if he leaves the island on a boat, he would have to leave through here.
So it sounds like he's still here then.
A lot of the marshals think he's holed up somewhere. Yeah. A lot of the marshals don't go too deep in the desert. That's sandworm territory. If he did end about there, he probably is dead.
Sandworm?
Yeah, worms live in the sand. Real big ones.
Yeah, like void worms. Worms that live in the void. I get it.
Well, I don't know what a void worm is, but I guess that's a similar type of thing. If you replace the word void with the word sand, just imagine that concept.
This is an interesting bartender. I'm digging his vibes.
Well,
he's putting down.
Thanks for the shot.
Wait, I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
Is there anything like big news around the world that you've heard? Like, I know you probably don't get a lot of information out here because, snail mail and stuff. But
Snail mail!
Is there any like big world news that you've heard of recently? Made it all the way here?
Well, we hear there's a war breaking out north of here on Demon's Knot. What else is going on in the world? Some sort of zombie moon attack that I'm kind of confused about. It was in the National Inquisitor, so I don't know how true it is. Something about moon zombies on Reyes. I heard there was a real important wedding happening over in Oestra between one of the wealthy landowners there, one of the guys that works with Dolway.
Alright, well, thank you for the information.
Always happy to help. Part of the bartender's code.
Got 5 days to kill here. I might want to try to look for a shadow fox. I don't feel like I'll be able to accomplish that in 5 days. I have no leads whatsoever. I'm kind of at a loss right now. So,
there are other things going on in town if you wanted to go some other places besides the bar. They've got a game room, an alchemist, a gunsmith, a distillery, quick draw ring where you can do quick draw competitions. Library and university, which should probably bore you, is just like the courtyard would. We got a tanner, you don't have any hides though. Law bureau, barracks, martial academy. theater, the horse theater. You can go watch a horse show.
Let's head over to the marshals. I'm kind of curious about this Shadow Fox.
Why don't you head over to the sand marshals where they hire deputies who work in other outlying cities for the government of Telorix to keep law and order across the desert plains, across the other settlements, and here at home. They work for the ultimate arbiters, all the judges that rule Telorix. So yeah, a bunch of sand marshals there doing their jobs. There are a bunch more wanted posters here than there were at the bar, of varying degrees from low to high, unlike at the bar, which is mostly a most wanted kind of list. Here they have all kinds of bounties posted, a lot of lawmen doing paperwork for the most part, paper pushing, filling out forms after they arrest someone.
Okay, I'm trying to think about how to approach this. Is there any, like, younger guys who look like maybe they haven't really had a chance, but they're really eager and, like...
Some greenhorns, huh? I'll roll a percentage for anything, I believe, in this game. No, a lot of the ones here seem older, fatter, pushing paper type guys. Probably the type of guys that don't go out as missions and probably just do more paperwork here at this office. Whereas the younger, more active guys are probably out on the streets or out in these other towns. These guys seem to be more like bureaucrat officers that work here in the marshal's office.
Okay, I'm
Yes,
gonna
Japanese.
try to roll a bluff check to order. Think they deal with reporters here, or is that against the
So
law?
one way to find out. Unless you look around, you can do a perception check to see if you see a sign posted that says no reporters. They do
That
seem
would
to,
be something they
they
would
do seem to post signs for everything, so I'll roll a percentage chance to see if that's a thing.
Yeah, my perception's not so good.
Well, then you do not see a sign that says no reporters allowed.
Oh,
You got 50-50.
what are they gonna do, find me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably maybe throw you in jail for a couple days if you can't pay the fine. It's like
Oh.
something they would do.
I know. There has to be an underground element in this town. There's so many laws. So,
Okay.
can I do knowledge local for butcher, baker, candlestick maker?
Yeah, you want to go to the bar or maybe knowledge local, ask around about the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker?
A natural 20.
So you are able to identify the criminal element here in town with a little bit of help from some locals. You obviously look the part. They hook you up with some local underground type, some gangs, other gunslingers that hole up here in town sometime in between jobs, or that just came in off of the docks, or that run illegal businesses out of the docks, are kind of holed up here, hidden from the eye of the law, sort of in the warehouse district near the docks. So they're sort of near the water, a very large structure where a lot of illegal activity is going on. People are selling a lot of illegal cargo, unloading slaves, moving items here and there, fencing things, moving in drugs.
Is there anybody who sells information here? Or I guess dabbles in
I
it?
mean, everything's for sale down here. You could probably buy some
Maybe
information off of somebody.
I could trade information?
Possible. Try anything once.
Do I just need to roll like a perception? Yeah.
That's more of like a knowledge local. You would be wearing a shirt that says like information. Alright, so if you ask around a little bit, you'll find someone that seems like they would be willing to trade information for information, or information for money, or information for goods. Seems to be a guy that seems to be in the know around here.
I'd like to know about the Shadow Fox attempted assassination.
Alright, he'll tell you what he knows, but it's not a whole lot. Rumor has it, Shadow Fox tried to kill the judge twice. Rumor has it the first time he tried to do it, he tried to kill him in the shower and he failed. And the second time he tried to kill him in the shower and made his head explode. Rumor has it he probably left town soon after that before authorities caught wind. We don't know how he got out of town without getting apprehended. You hear a lot of things about kitsunes, you know, like they can change shape and or go invisible or turn into animals. Like a lot of them have all kinds of ways that are sneaky and magical that make them able to get away with this kind of criminal activity. That makes them the envy of a lot of people down here, you know, because they can do that kind of stuff. Change shapes, definitely like something I wish I could change my shape and just look different. Everyone above knows my face. That's why I spend so much time down here. But the Shadow Fox is a very interesting one. No one else is ever able to get that close to one of the local judges, and they're all a bane on our existence in the underbelly.
Heard anything about him since?
No, he just sort of vanished. I mean, there was a rumor we had one gang say that there was a sighting of him over in one of the smaller towns on the East Coast, that he started a fire in a porn shop or something, but that was never really confirmed.
Thank you for the information. I'd like to let you know that Jim Darling stock may be going down.
Alright.
Hint there.
I'll go ahead and unload all of my Jim Darling albums as fast as possible. Thanks for the tip.
Doesn't seem to be a lot of information about this Hatsune, matching my prophetic child description.
Except that he maybe burned down a porn store on the East Coast. I mean, if you were to ask around about getting to one of the cities on the East Coast, you'd have to leave this city. You'd have to either do that on foot, or on camel or horseback, or pay someone with a buggy to carry you across the desert, or...
I'm pretty happy with this cushy cruise ship position, though.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound like the child's here. Like, no one's seen him in a long time. You think he's probably really clever and found a way to get out of here. Clever like a fox,
all
right?
foxes do.
It's a common
Yeah,
expression.
well, whatever a fox is, but I'm sure
That doesn't mean all
everybody
Kitsunes
keeps saying
are
that.
clever.
Well, not all of them, but as a general rule, most of them are.
The last sighting of Shadow Fox is the east coast of Kilnar. Right. I was gonna see if maybe go back to the bar and see if he's looking for any late night entertainment.
Yeah, roll me a diplomacy check for late night entertainment.
25? 25.
Right.
Nope.
It's Tuesday night, so if you have a 25, I'll say it's usually pretty slow. And if you want to try to perform for tips, you're more than welcome to.
Sounds good. Thanks.
What are you doing for, are you going to spam time until then? Or are you doing something until then?
No, let's just spend time until I get back on the boat.
Okay, do you want to roll for a couple nights of performing at this bar?
Yes, please.
I'll let you roll a d20 plus whatever it was you're using a perform skill, I assume. Storytelling.
19.
Alright, so you get 19 gold.
Yay.
That's for one night, but if you want to perform the next night, you gotta roll another diplomacy check to ask about performing the next night. But that went pretty well, so he might let you. You're pretty popular the night before.
15.
Make 15 is enough to convince him to let you perform the next night. He's like, alright, it's you know, you're usually a little busier on Wednesdays, but you did really well last night, so I'll let you do it again tonight. So roll again for your set tonight. How much tips do you make during your set?
12.
12 gold. You gonna try it again the next night or just spam the rest of the days?
I'd have to sleep one night.
Yeah? I mean, you've already been pushing the envelope now. You already went one night without sleeping.
Alright, well, does he have rooms?
There are inns here in Telorix. Not one at the tavern, but there's an inn nearby.
Alright, let's go check it out.
Alright, in here is 10 gold a night. You must submit to a background check to enter the inn.
Sounds about right.
Alright.
Similar to like a detect thoughts. So basically, they're gonna just check your thoughts for any misdeeds you might have committed recently.
Alright, well, thanks, guys. I guess let's go back to the ship.
Alright, you go back
We're
to the.
board freed.
Yep, you have a
And I
secret.
don't change my thoughts.
Yeah, you have a secret room on the ship. You got a private room. You go back to your closet on the ship and rest. That night, you turn into Skull.
Alright.
You're now a skull in a closet.
I'm assuming that the staff on the ship is a lot of different races.
Correct.
Alright, I'm gonna try to will save to not be a skull. We talk to... My will is 16.
Alright, that's good enough to not be a skull, I think.
Okay. I'd like to maybe go to the communal area for staff and see if there's anybody bopping around.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people still enjoying the free buffet while a lot of the tourists are gone, relaxing as much as they can because they still have work to do. And there are a lot of different employees you can see around the ship in different areas. Probably the largest congregation is, like I said, in the buffet area.
Can I do like a perception test or something? For somebody who knows something. I don't know.
You can do a perception check and I'll tell you what you see, but I don't know how you would see if someone knows something or not. But I can tell you which kind of people you see around.
Reading on what kind of races are there?
Yeah, are you looking for a race in particular?
Are there any darling locals on the ship?
Yeah, roll a perception check for that.
14.
There are a couple, what they would call like lifetimers that grew up in the Darling Metropolis and have worked on the cruise ship for a long time. A lot of the older members of the staff that were from the Darling Metropolis that have worked on the cruise ship for many years.
I'd like to do diplomacy to ask them about the Katsuni attack. At least diplomacy to ask him about any big news, I guess, in the Darling, because I feel like he'd be really... Those kind of people are kind of gossipy. That's what I got from...
They're like Teen Beat magazine reading super fans.
Yeah, they follow Jim Darling. I'm sure they're going to be completely willing to talk about the horrific things that happened. 15.
So if you ask specifically about the Shadow Fox attack, he will recount in great detail what happened. First, he tried to break into a prison cell, and then when he was arrested, blew up a prison, and then when he was taken to court, he blew up a courtroom and escaped town. Rumor has it he was also responsible for the explosion in town that looted the very large bank that was in the Darling Metropolis. It was holding a lot of valuable items.
What kind of... Did he have any accomplices that anybody knew about?
There are rumors that he was working with a larger group, but he was the only one that was ever taken to trial. But there were rumors that some of his group were in the audience at the trial. They probably were the ones that set off that bomb that interfered with the trial, but no one really knows.
How about, are there any Kilnar locals on the staff?
Oh, let's find out. Yeah, there are some Kelnarans that are working on the ship, taking a round trip. Some that have boarded here and some that have worked on the ship and are coming back here. They're just now returning home.
Can I talk to them? I just rolled a diplomacy of 20. I'd again like to know about the Shadow Fox attack and see if they have any differing information or I don't know.
I mean, there are lots of rumors that a lot of lawmen in town wear true sight goggles now. Recent invention from up north on Demon's Knot. And they do this because of the Kitsune. Rumor has it he could be invisible and change shape, so the true sight goggles were an effort to prevent this kind of stuff from happening again. If he returns to town, they'll be able to spot him, basically. So at a very great expense, the city purchased many of these true sight goggles.
Who are allowed to have these sight goggles?
Lawmen that are high enough rank, anyone that can afford them.
Where do lawmen like to hang out?
A lot of the ones that will have the true sight goggles here will be higher ranked city guards, so they usually like to hang out at their guard posts or around the courthouse or in the barracks.
And besides the rumor, on the east side, there's been sighting of this guy. Like, I find that incredibly unbelievable.
Well, I did tell you he could be invisible, right? So the fact there's no sighting of him shouldn't be that unbelievable.
Well,
if he
now that
could
they
be
have
invisible.
true goggles.
Well, here in town they do, but not everyone has them. They're very expensive, and only a lot of the city guard here in town have them, but a lot of the people going after them don't. They're very hard to come by.
Does anybody know what the next stop is?
On the boat, next stop is Zardoza, then Galbraith.
Can I do a knowledge plane to figure out anything about Zardoza?
No, because that is on the material. Well, maybe because you're from another plane, so that'd be like your knowledge of the material plane. I kind of like that for you.
And I wrote in my backstory that my lords prepared me for my journey in material plane by sharing me stories.
All right, I will allow you to roll knowledge planes for the material plane because you are from another plane. For the same reason I would let you roll knowledge local in the maelstrom.
Alright. Math. 25.
You know this is a town that was famous for its music. Influenced
But not
this,
in the way that...
not in the way that Darling Metropolis is, no. In a different way. Known for its music crafting, like there's a famous crafter that is known to live here. People flock to him. Now he has made many instruments for Jim Darling. That's probably why this is one of the stops on the tour. He has crafted many of Jim Darling's instruments. So maybe he'll stop there and get instruments of their own to hopefully also one day be as good of bards as Jim Darling. With a fine Zardozan instrument.
I just thought of something. Is there like a fortune teller or anything in town that I missed? Or do you think that would be more likely it's Zardoza?
You know what? There might be. I have to roll percentage chance to find out. Yeah, there's a fortune teller in town.
And it's still the day, right?
Day 3, yep. Middle of the day.
3. Go find that fortune teller.
She will also be in a part of the underbelly where a lot of the gambling is going on. Gambling's illegal except where authorized throughout town. But over in the criminal underbelly, they've got some underground gambling going on. And sort of in that area, there's a fortune teller hanging out. An old woman with gray hair, short. Also, it appears to be either halfling or gnome.
Sick.
She's just finished reading someone their fortune.
Alright, I'm next in line, please.
Okay, I'll allow that. It's not a busy thing down here. Would you like your fortune told?
Yes, please. Can I try, you said she's either a gnome or halfling?
Mm-hmm.
Can I do linguistics to see if she also speaks halfling?
Or you can just speak in halfling and see if she responds.
Oh, okay. Hey, in halfling.
Hey, back in halfling. Just to have your fortune told, it will cost you 20 gold.
Can I just get a halfling discount?
Diplomacy.
Not good. Oh.
Then no.
No. I don't know, I feel like it's worth it.
Paid your 20 gold. You must now give this fortune teller a number.
2.
Alright, she will read your fortune. She flips over a card from her deck and says, "This card shows me that you are in a prison of some sort." There are 4 swords in the card. It says, "It appears that you are somehow trapped." She flips over the second card. Has swords on it also, so both cards have swords. One has 6 swords, one card has 8 swords. She says, "It seems the prison is for your soul." It says, "Both of these cards indicate to me that you are trapped and you're looking for a way out of a prison." It says, "They do not reveal to me the key to this prison, but they do show that you are trapped."
I knew that.
It's like, well, this is all the cards show me, and that's all I can reveal. With what you just,
there was a number of cards.
well, it is. You can go again. She'll let you choose another number if you like, but that's what she was able to read from those 2 cards about you.
Oh, well, I don't want to be annoying, but let's go, like, 5. I feel
Alright.
like that's a better number.
That'll be another 20 gold, please.
You knew you were going to do that. What the heck? Let's do it.
She flips over a card with a jester on it. This card indicates you are a tortured fool. You are a creature of chaos that pleases the gods, that is protected, even though you are oblivious to what goes on around you. Next card says, this shows a throne. It tells me you are somehow linked to royalty. You are seeking your throne. My next card shows me the hermit. You are alone in this world, although you have a wealth of information at your fingertips. This shows flames. You have a very strong enemy. From far away from another plane is working against you. This last card is the Tower of Ruin. It says things do not end well for you.
Yeah, but what about the Shadow Fox?
Would you like me to read the fortune of you pertaining to the Shadow Fox?
No.
That'd be 20 gold.
Ugh.
Perhaps you seek something more.
Man, I'm looking for something, like, important.
I feel like you should have sussed that out, fortune lady.
I suss that out very plainly. Maybe if you could trade me something very valuable, I could trade you something very valuable in return.
What your definition of very valuable is.
You can have my respect.
It says,
Hey.
You don't know me, but I've been playing this game for a long time, and I seek a key to help me escape from my prison, much as you seek a key to help you escape from yours. And maybe you don't think I'm a very good fortune teller, but I knew you'd be here, and I was waiting for you. I seek something that you hold, something that you stole. If you would give it to me, I will give you a chance to change your fortune. I hold in the power of this very same deck of cards. Pulls out another deck that looks slightly different and says, if we tell your fortune with these cards, your fortune may change.
What promises?
Nona does not make promises she cannot keep.
Oh god, it's Nona.
You seem to be a creature of chaos, willing to take chances. No risk, no reward.
How do I know what you're promising doesn't mean the same thing where I'm going? I just don't... How could anyone know that, Mona?
Nona knows many things. Like I said, I've been doing this for a very long time. And all I'm asking from you is to give me the key.
A lot to ask. I mean, if you're so good, then you know what I had to go through to get this.
Says we all must
And
go
what
through our
it
trials.
means- what it means-
Do you
and
know what
what
I
it
had to
means
go
for
through
my
to get this? And
future.
she points to her deck. She says, do you know what I had to go through to get this? I tell you, I went through much more trouble to get this deck of cards than you did to get that key.
You know stuff, then you know this thing that I stole has a very special purpose. So how
So-
can I give it up in exchange for information that I don't know if even good?
I offer you more than information. Much, much more than information.
Fine.
This key is worthless to you here. It has no power on this island.
You're right. Why don't you just take it?
Alright, she will take your crystal fragment,
I begrudgingly give it.
and in return, she will ask you to choose another number.
Not if it's the same thing again.
And it's not. This time it's a different deck of cards.
Wait, but what if I pick the wrong number again? I don't have another crystal fragment.
Well, this is a game of chance, so...
Alright, well then I'll do like lucky number 13.
Okay, 13. Card number 1 of 13. I gotta keep track of this now. So this is the Devil card, which now creates enmity between you and an outsider. So now there's an outsider that hates you. Now I have to decide which one. But she did say that there was someone out there, an enemy that was working against you, so this makes it real. Maybe that's why someone imprisoned you in Finn's body. Queen of Hearts. The Hierophant. You gain a major magic weapon. We got the Jack of Spades. You have 5 of Swords. One of your friends will turn against you. You don't have any friends. That makes it pretty easy. So Finn, maybe.
Actually, I'll probably end up killing that guy's from high school's kid, so that's probably it.
That's probably it, yeah. As you guys are playing this card game, the authorities storm in. You're going to be arrested and imprisoned, but not until I finish drawing all these cards, because that's how the game works. You lose all wealth and property as you're imprisoned. They take all your money and all your property. You have no items, including the magic item that I gave you. You lose all your money, all of your property, all your belongings, all your weapons, everything. But then after that, you gain a wondrous item and 50,000 experience points.
Say 50,000 experience points? It could be taken away from me, so it doesn't
True.
matter.
Card 7 is the 3 of Cups, the Fates. This allows you to avoid any situation you choose once, including your imprisonment. If you'd like to avoid your imprisonment, you can play that card right now.
Go for you.
Would you like to play that card now to avoid imprisonment, or save it for in case something worse happens?
Like
even
death.
even at the end of the game, I'm probably gonna avoid this arrest because it's annoying. But I want to make sure it's not like while you're being arrested, a
The next
giant
one-
dragon falls out of the sky and burns down the whole jail with you inside, and you die. You know, I
Yeah,
want to make sure that doesn't happen.
avoid that situation. I get it. The next one is the Comet. If you defeat the next monster you meet, you'll gain 1 level.
Oh my god.
That's on top of all the other levels you just gained.
Might have gained.
Yeah. Card number 9 is the Idiot. You lose 1d4 plus 1 intelligence. If you'd like to roll that and subtract it from your intelligence. That is a permanent intelligence drain.
-3 to intelligence.
Alright, so subtract that from your base intelligence score. Should lower your modifier by at least 1, possibly 2.
Yep. 2.
So that'll affect all of your skills and stuff that deal with intelligence as well. But you're allowed to draw again. Would you like to add an extra draw to this game?
You know what? What the heck?
Or the Star. You immediately gain a +2 bonus to 1 ability score, so you can put +2 right back into intelligence if you want.
Good. It was a +2 to ability.
Yep, to 1 ability score. Number 11 is the balance card. You must change alignment instantly. What is your alignment? I'll let you remain chaotic, but that means you're gonna either go chaotic evil or chaotic good.
I feel like it would be easier to lean chaotic neutral being chaotic good.
Alright, so chaotic good. Next one, you either gain 25 pieces of jewelry or 50 gems. Either way, it's worth the same amount of money, but you got 50 gems that appear on your person, although you have no way of carrying it anymore because your backpack's gone. You lose 10,000 experience points and must draw again. Then a Dread Wraith appears, which you must defeat right now or be forever destroyed. But if you defeat it, you also gain a level.
But I have nothing on me.
You have 50 gems, but you have to destroy this Dread Wraith or be forever destroyed. Or you can avoid the situation, but right now a ghostly creature that's more like a dark shape with flickering pinpoints of light where its eyes should be. An incorporeal undead creature that you know can drain you of life from your experience on planes. You can defeat it now, or you can avoid the situation. It would be very hard.
It looks like I'm gonna have to be in prison. Fantastic.
Actually, it's not half bad.
Yeah.
Considering
Especially, usually that imprisonment is like another plane imprisonment. I'm just imprisoning you in a prison here in town, which I assume you can get out of. You're a rogue.
Yeah, you're a rogue.
It's like half of what you do.
Do they just have it in a locker somewhere?
No, it magically vanished.
Huh?
All of your belongings magically vanished.
Magically vanished?
Oh yeah.
How did they magically vanish? How do I know the authorities weren't just fake?
Maybe the authorities are fake.
Either I was arrested by the real authorities and they took all my stuff.
I'll roll a percentage chance to see if your material belongings, if your belongings were taken on this plane, or if they were taken to another plane. I rolled high enough that I'm going to believe that your belongings were just confiscated by the police, just like you're being imprisoned by the police. But you still have to finish this game before they can finish taking you away. Like time is frozen while you're playing this game.
I've got one more card, don't I?
Yep, you have one more card.
And I have to avoid this race because there's nothing else I can do.
Except be destroyed forever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like destroyed forever, ever.
Yeah, but let's avoid this.
Alright, you avoid the Wraith.
And let's hope that the next card isn't there's a giant dragon that you have to destroy or be destroyed forever.
Oh, you can't. There's none.
All magic items you possess disappear permanently. I believe you only had one, so that one magic item that you would have magically got just vanishes. But you still get all that experience points.
40,000.
And 40,000 experience points. And if you defeat the next monster you fight, you level up. But you are imprisoned in the Telorc's jail, the Telorc's prisons. You just got caught in this underbelly, so you got arrested with a lot of other criminals that were down there. There was a raid. Your belongings have been confiscated and put somewhere in this facility, probably. You are now behind bars. Meanwhile, on the eastern side of Kelnar, outside of the safety of Telorc's, amidst the wild, infinite sands, Archaon the Ever-Chosen and his two stooges, currently occupying troll bodies, manipulating them through the force of will. Although very exhausted in doing so, been doing it for quite some time without rest, probably need to rest soon, have just defeated the Fat Boys, Phatboyz.
We didn't kill him, we took him alive, stabilized him, tied him up with ropes. Let's take all their shit.
Most of the stuff you can take won't fit your troll bodies. They are wearing outfits if you'd like to strip them naked. Cowboy boots, chaps, polo ties, cowboy hats. They have 3 horses. They are 3 guns, 2 rifles and 1 pistol. About 50 gold.
We're gonna have them in the back with us, have the tarp over us again, and you said we were inside of the city, so we're gonna go to the city.
Well, you guys were near Kafusar, I believe, which is where your delivery was supposed to go. You guys were just outside of town. If you'd like to ride into town with these guys in the back.
The merchant will be there to corroborate our story, and they're wanted criminals, and we have a bounty to deliver on them.
Yep.
At the city.
I mean, the bounty will probably be back in Telorc's. You know,
I have to go back there. They don't have a marshal's office that takes prisoners.
I mean, they have a marshal here, but he works for this town. Anyone that has a bounty out for them has to be prosecuted in the courts, which all the courts are in Telorc's. So if you're taking them alive, you gotta turn them there. If you're turning them dead, you can get your reward here. But if you're taking them back alive, they have to be prosecuted in Telorc's.
And what's the difference in reward on alive and dead for them?
You get a lot less money for dead than you do alive for these guys.
Be like, okay, so we're gonna get our gold from the caravan, right?
Yeah, you got your 200 gold or whatever I promised you for pay.
Be like, hey, and look around for caravans going back to the capital, because I imagine since it's the capital, there's always
travel going back and forth from there.
Be like, hey, you guys need help securing shit? We're down.
Yeah, so apparently they were delivering some school books. You're in what seems to be a school town, mostly children, Although the school does seem very well guarded with lots of martial-looking guys with badges protecting the school. Fuzzy school marm. You guys just dropped off the books and are allowed to leave pretty quickly. They don't seem to want you guys hanging around. So you can ride back with the guy that you delivered the package for.
Hey, be like, I can protect you on the way back, man.
Yeah, I roll diplomacy
gold,
roll me diplomacy to offer that.
Alright, that's a 19.
He says, I'll tell you what, I'll take you back for 200 gold, or we can just call it even, Steven. Either I pay you 200 gold for guarding, and then you pay me 200 gold for the ride, or we just call it even. Either way, it's going to be even, but...
You have to go back in anyway, and if you go there,
So do
you're
you.
gonna die.
Need a ride or don't you?
I mean, I do, but I don't have to take it from you. I mean, there's other caravans here, right?
He's like, alright, well, good luck, man. He'll ride off into the
Well, anyway,
sunset.
let me perception check to see if there's other things before I,
Alright,
go
well,
off the
perception check.
26.
There seem to be several other caravans, although it's hard to tell where they're going. They seem to be full of school children, and you would assume probably taking these kids home for the weekend to see their parents in one of the closer towns on this side of the coast, probably not going all the way back to Talorix.
Instead, I guess, you know what, fine, let's call it even Stevens.
Alright, even Stevens. You get a ride back, he gets free security. You got these guys, you're gonna keep these guys in his cart too, so I mean you're using his cart.
Don't you want to see people brought to justice?
It's like, look, I'm watching it happen. This is so exciting.
And join us next time for another exciting episode of Long Distance Dungeons and Dragons Dinner Theater.